crystallized ginger oat biscuits. Delia Smith recipe. I've put in here 100 grams of butter together with 75 grams of demerara sugar. Actually, it's 110 grams she asks for. So let's put another 10 grams of butter in. Here we are. And a dessert spoonful of golden syrup. From Lidl's. A dessert spoon. And put this on a gentle heat until the sugar has dissolved. There we are. Meanwhile, as that's dissolving, sift the flour into a bowl. Let's find a bowl. I think that should be large enough. Onto the scales. Set the scales to 0 and a sieve and a blue bag of self-raising flour, and she asks for 110 grams again. Often the weight of the butter and the weight of the flour is the same in her recipes. It's just a little bit too much. 110, so take a spoonful out. There we are, that should be fine. And some oats. Let's push all that back a wee bit. 110 grams of oats as well. Fresh packet. Let's get a spoon to mix the butter and sugar together and lower the heat a little bit. So let's sieve the flour, get some air into it. That's for a sponge. But here, and there's a bit of paper in there from the bag. Always do that 14 times. I watched a recipe, a video once, a few years ago. I forget what she was cooking, but she said, stir the mixture clockwise a certain number of times, stir the mixture anti-clockwise a certain number of times. What that was all about, I just don't know. No doubt sing a song at the same time and stand on one leg. Should we cook with one leg up and one leg down? So 110 grams of oats. There we are, dead on 110. So let's give that a stir. Let's have a look what she says. Now pour the melted mixture in and mix a few. Oh, haven't done the chopped crystallized ginger yet. So here we have some crystallized ginger. Got that from Waitrose. And here we have, I forget what it's called, but it's a chopper. One has to be very careful not to cut one's fingers. Let's put that on the scales, put it to 0, and put a couple of these on. Let's see, 40 grams she wants. But one is 17, That's 38. I like a bit more, don't you? Let's have 2 big ones. Take that one off, a small one. Should we have it all? Let's have it all. Give that a cut. You can see the action here, the technique. This is the best technique out. Into small pieces. There we are. I never think they give enough weight to the ginger. I like a lot of ginger. Though there was a Mary Berry video I watched the other day. She says 1 teaspoon. Then she said, if you like a lot of ginger, then put another teaspoonful in. That's how she talks. So here we are, chop, 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 chop. And you do this action back and forth, which I was doing on my back this morning in yoga. Back and forth. And then we get a knife and we scrape that. How's the butter mixture doing? Butter and syrup doing? There we are. I think I'll turn that off now. And then we need to get some baking trays out and put the oven on and put the mixture into little balls. So here's the ginger into the bowl. A little bit more than that was asked. And some powdered ginger, 1 rounded teaspoon of ground ginger. Well, this spoon is smaller than, there we are, smaller teaspoon, so a little bit more. There we are. And then give that a good mix. That's the top of the ginger, the crystallized ginger. Actually, this is stem ginger, isn't it? Crystallized is where you've got these little lumps, little squares of ginger in sugar. Won't matter. It won't matter. So there we are. I think I'll use my fingers and just do that. I won't do that with the... And then pour the malted mixture in and mix very thoroughly. And divide the mixture into 4, and then divide each quarter into 3, and mould each piece into a little round with your hand. Place on the baking sheet. 170 degrees the oven needs to be on at. There we are. Take out the pan there, which has some fat in it, and get a couple of baking trays which have paper on, baking parchment. A bit more room. Haven't got a very big kitchen here. There we are, there we are. That's a bit floury. Let's get rid of that. And then it's marvellous, this. And you've got the choice of doing this far away sort of angle. And look miles away. Anyway, here we are. Put all that in. I've not done this recipe before. And give that a good old mix. There we are. Maybe I'll need to dust my hands with some flour. to. There we go, it's very sticky. There we are, that's what it looks like. Thoroughly mixed. I don't think we need to divide it, we just make little balls. Teaspoons. Here we go. Now, can you see the, so I could bring one of these up here. And put that there, and put that there. And divide the mixture, place them on a baking sheet, spacing them out well so they have plenty of room to expand, which they will. Now press each one to flatten a little, then bake them near the centre of the oven for about 20 to 22 minutes, or until they've turned a lovely golden brown. Leave them on the baking sheet for 15 minutes and transfer them to a wire cooling tray. Here we are then, so let's make some little balls and do that. There's a ball, put that on there. The various sizes of cookies. In the end, they're quite wet. Here we are, I'm doing 3 widthwise, and I suppose 4 or 5 lengthwise. That's a very small, maybe it could be a bit bigger. She doesn't say how many. I didn't notice how many she suggests this amount mixture makes. There we are. I think a little bit bigger. I think I might put those 2 small ones together. There we are. I don't really know exactly the best size, but these are the mixture. So 3 4s are 12, so 12 on this baking tray. Maybe I can put 2 baking trays in the oven at the same time and then transfer them, change them around halfway through or something like that. Or should I do one tray at a time? Now these are for tomorrow. I'm going to a town called Ledbury, which is, there's what I've just done. And now we do another tray if I'm going to put 2 trays into the oven at the same time. So here we are. I don't need the teaspoon, just pick it out. Maybe it's too wet, I don't know. I didn't put more than she said of butter in. It is very wet. And we've got to pat them down afterwards, haven't we, before we put them in the oven, which I haven't done yet. So, yes, this morning I went to yoga. The lady who normally takes it was away, and the lady who did take it, she gave us some, every yoga teacher's got something different to teach us. So she had a couple of poses that I've never done before. You basically, in your downward facing dog, and you put your legs in a different position. I think I'll take a little bit off there. These are sort of not quite golf ball size. So this is not making 12. So I think there's going to be scrape that out. And put that with some of the little ones. It's made 22. So put that with that one, I think. You pat them down, so I use the mound of my hand. So that's 110 grams of butter. I use vegan butter. 110 grams, well, together with 75 grams of demerara sugar, 1 dessert spoonful of golden syrup, and then that goes on to a gentle heat. And then while that's melting into a bowl, 110 grams of self-raising flour together with 1 teaspoonful of ginger, powdered ginger, 40 grams, of course, or more, depends, 40 grams of crystallized ginger, but I use stem ginger, and that was it, wasn't it? Mix all that together, then add the wet to the dry, and then make balls of the mixture, and I've made 22. Then you sort of pat them down a bit to level them off, maybe with that spoon, might be better, a spoon. Try and get little circles if they can elongate. There we are. And there we are, that's going to be nice. That can be flattened a bit more, I think. And then I'll make another video in 10 minutes time just to show you the end result. Just pushing them down, flattening them down with a teaspoon. It's marvellous, this angle that you can use in making videos. So it's extended, so you can see much more. Good. I think I'm just going to wipe my hands. Let's have a look at the shelves. I think I better raise one of the shelves up. There we go. Put those in to the top, and those in just underneath. And I need to put the temperature thermometer in. There we are. Because I'm not quite sure whether my oven is playing up a bit. So there we are. So in 15 minutes time or so, I'll show you the result. And so bye bye for now.